Alma broke it.
Okay, you're on.
Okay.
There's gonna be an awkward shot of you, like every second.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm super excited, one, for me, because you all are giving me an opportunity to partner with you on your goals over the next 3 months, and that's really truly a gift to me. So thank you for allowing me and the whole team that opportunity. But I'm also excited for you because we've seen with this particular program some amazing results for people, and I know that if you really just follow the plan, you're going to get amazing results too. So this should be really really good for you and exciting. So today's meeting is really about kind of giving you the nuts and bolts of like, what is this thing? You kind of like signed up for something, and maybe you kind of know what it is, and maybe you kind of don't. What we've kind of framed it as is it's chock full of support and accountability and structure to get you to be the healthiest and best you possible. What's up, Tiffany? So that's kind of what this is, but I'm going to get into the details of that. We are also, so in terms of the agenda, I'm going to talk maybe, depending on how many questions you have, 20 to 30-ish minutes about kind of the details. And then we're gonna break and get into the workout. So those of you who haven't done the baseline workout are gonna do that today, hopefully. And so if you're prepared to do that, like you have workout clothes and all that. And that'll really be it. And then there's some other details of things you're gonna have to do, like administratively or logistically, but that's really the structure. Feel free, for folks who are just kind of new with us, we have bathrooms over there, so at any point you need use, there's 2 bathrooms, they're unisex. And then drinking fountains and stuff like that are kind of hidden behind that fan over there if you need any water or anything. Okay, cool. So this is the 90-day Best You Challenge. We've kind of structured it. We've done different variations of challenges in the past. And I haven't always loved them. I mean, just being completely transparent, I haven't always loved it because of the structure. Like a 6 weeks, in my opinion, someone who's been doing this for over 20 years now, 6 weeks isn't a whole lot of, you see a lot of 6-week challenges. It's not a whole lot of time to get the results. It's kind of the perfect amount of time for people to commit to, you know what I mean? I can kind of do the work for 6 weeks, and then most people kind of start to fall off of that. So this is a little bit harder in terms of the length of commitment, but it's a lot better in terms of what the appropriate amount of time that you'll actually get some results. So that's why it's 90 days. Okay, so yeah, you probably cannot see that from where you're at. But what that says is the things that the outcomes that you can expect to get out of this challenge are number one, first and foremost, are improved habits. We know that we are basically a product of the things that we do on a daily basis. You know, if you're doing certain things, you're going to get certain results. And so that's what we heavily emphasize during these 90 days are the habits that we know that are going to lead to results, not just during this challenge, but ongoing, sustainable habits. And that, when I say sustainable, that also means that we're not going to ask you to do anything extreme or crazy or something that you wouldn't be able to maintain really for your entire life if you chose to do that. So that's something to know kind of coming into this now, that there's not going to be anything abnormally difficult about this challenge. Based on that, you're going to improve your performance, right? And performance across all things. You know, the way that I define performance, it's really just about action. You know, if you kind of try that on for a second, you're performing when you're acting. Now you can give labels to how well I'm performing or how what I'm performing at, but you're always performing if you're acting, and that's what we're going to try and get you to do. And so you're going to improve your performance in your workouts. You're going to improve your performance in your daily actions and all of that good stuff. And all of that could and probably will lead to improved body composition. So a lot of people come into this challenge and that's like their number one goal. I want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to put on 5 pounds of muscle, or something along those lines, and that's totally fine. I think we can create that for you during this challenge. But you have to know that the pathway to that are these other 2 things that I just spoke about. Improving your habits, improving your performance, the body composition will come through that. So that's kind of how that happens in that order. So you can expect those outcomes during this challenge. the person who we've seen time and time again, the people who win this challenge, and there is a winner, and I'll kind of talk about those details in just a second. But really, there's nothing particularly. They're not the best athletes. They're not like the most intelligent people. They're not the ones who have the most money. You know, it's really not that person. It's the person who just does what we ask them to do, right? It's simple. We're giving you the layout for it. They're the ones who are the most committed, the most focused. They're the ones who do the best at the planning, preparation, kind of being resourceful. You know, and they are the ones who persevere the most. Guaranteed, during these 90 days, something is going to happen in your life, or you know, we're going to ask you to be doing something that's going to be really difficult for you, because we're going to ask you to not change. Who you are right now can already do everything that we ask you, but maybe logistically you haven't like put something into place that's going to take some figuring out. And what we see is when some people bump up against that, it's kind of hard for them, and then they just say, screw it, I'm done, right? The person who's going to win this is going to bump up against that. You know, it's not that you're not going to have that challenge. You're going to bump up against it, you're going to figure it out, and you're going to push through it, and you're going to keep going. And that's how you're going to have the most success in this challenge. And the person who ultimately wins is going to do that as well or better than anybody with the most commitment. So that's what this is going to be about. There's a winning formula. So just right up front, how can I get the best? Like, what is this score of this challenge going to look like to win? Because some of you guys are here to win, and some of you guys are here more about solving some challenge you're having in your life, some sort of obstacle, and you'll win by solving that problem. But we have a score, and that score is based on percent of lean mass gain, percent of body fat lost, reps improved in the fitness test, and average, so it says rise points per day. So you guys all should be in a software. You guys signed up through Wodify Rise, and you're going to be tracking your habits through there. And as a whole, it kind of gamifies your healthy habits. And you get points associated, which I'll talk about the points. But the average points per day at the end of this is going to be a part of your point system. So it's important to kind of know that. By the way, we have women competing against women, men competing against men, because we put on fat, gain muscle different ways, and different things. So we won't have those folks competing against each other. And we have a good mix. We have about right down the middle in terms of guys and gals in this challenge. So it kind of works out nice too. Questions about the points piece? This is a little different. If you've done a challenge with us in the past, things that have changed in this formula are, we kind of looked at, so it used to be pounds of lean mass gain, so muscle gain, pounds of body fat lost. We realized that didn't create exactly a perfect equal playing field. So now percentage is a better way to look at that. Reps improved in the fitness test. We went by in percentage improvement before. Now it's just straight up raw score reps that you do better in the fitness test, which will be a part of your points. Questions about this? Great. Okay, so there are going to be tasks. So I'm going to get into the point system, right? So we're going to be asking you to do things on a monthly, bi-weekly, and daily basis. And all of those things that we're asking you to do have points associated with them. And what we found is that this reward, you're getting a reward for doing something that's going to be good for you. And there's some sort of like psychological, emotional value to that, and people really like cling on to it, and it really helps people to figure those things out. And then once the challenge is over, they've kind of already built that into their lifestyle, and it continues on. So that's how we structure it. So on a monthly basis, we're going to ask you to take progress photos. So actually 6 days from tomorrow, tomorrow's Monday, right? So I think on Saturday, our software, the Precision Nutrition software, is going to ask you to take progress photos. So we want you to put those in there. Mostly for you, right? So there's lots of different ways to measure progress. We are not going to use, anyone who's worried about that, we're not going to use your photos. publicly. No one else is going to see those. Those are for you. But it does help people to kind of see change in their bodies if that's something they're looking for. So you'll get 20 points for entering in your progress photo at the, when we ask for it on monthly. You will be asked to do body circumference measurements bi-weekly. So you'll probably want to get some sort of cloth or, you know, I like one called a myotape, but there's all different types of tape measures out there to measure the circumference of your body. So it's going to be like things like your neck, the width of your shoulders, your arm, your abdomen, thigh, hips, calf, I think are the things that's going to have you measure. And when you put those measures, it's going to have you measure again this coming weekend, coming up, and then every 2 weeks after that during the challenge. That's also another, you know, if we were just looking at the scale that we stand on, that tells us a very small part of the story of what's going on with your body. But some progress photos, some body circumference measurements, and the scale come together to let us know, because I'm going to be checking in with you regularly during this challenge, and it's going to be like, okay, what are your measurements doing? What's your weight doing? And we're going to kind of figure this out if things are working for you or not. It's going to give us an opportunity to problem solve or be like, awesome, it's going great for you. So that's why we do that. 10 points every time you put your measurements in. And this is all in Rise. You're going to track this in Wodify Rise. Okay, so the daily tasks. Daily tasks are going to be really important and where you're going to really get the bulk of all of your, you know, your reward for this. So on a daily basis, we're going to have you doing a bunch of stuff around your nutrition. Each day, our nutrition program will be sending you emails, and you've already been receiving. Everyone in here has been receiving some emails, and if you haven't been like answering them, you're kind of behind the curve, because I've been reading everything that you've been putting in there. I'm creating like a custom get started fast guide for you, which is all based off of what the answers you've been giving me, and so we use Precision Nutrition's Pro Coach platform. So that's where all that's coming through. So that's the platform we're using to deliver the nutrition information. But every single day it's going to send you an email, and it's going to ask you to do something. And some of it's going to like be directly related to your nutrition, but sometimes it's going to be more about like, you know, what are your goals? Like, what are you trying to accomplish with your nutrition? And so it's pretty expansive what that program's going to offer. But you're either going to have completed everything that email asked you to do, which will get you 5 points. Okay, if you complete it might be a survey, it might be it might be asking you, it's going to give you a habit that it wants you focusing on. So maybe, for example, coming up pretty soon for most everybody, it's going to be slow down when you're eating, right? That's going to be a habit that we're going to want you to kind of take on, is like eating a little slower. And if you did that, at the end of the day, you hit yes in there, and that's, you'll be able to say, yes, I completed that task. So that's what this is really asking. When it says completed healthy habits tasks, did you do everything we asked you to do? So you'll get 5 points for completing everything. If you did one or more, but not all of the tasks in there, then you're going to say, you'll answer that one that says like some of it. It'll be something in reference to like I did some of it, and you'll get 3 points. And if you didn't do any of it, you get a big goose egg, right? So that you don't get any bonus points for not completing those tasks. We are going to ask you as a part of this program to really increase your micronutrients and fiber intake and all that stuff through eating more fruits and vegetables. So that's one of the things that we've seen time and time again. Folks who have a better intake with fruits and vegetables, even just a small increase, tend to do better with a whole bunch of other metrics, right? So eating, and really some people will say 7 or more servings a day. We're going to go with 5 to keep it a nice, manageable task. But if you eat 5 or more servings of fruits and vegetables, and we lay out what a serving is for you, it'll be like, it's like a half a cup of certain things or a full cup of other things. A serving, if you eat all 5, you get 5 points. If you eat 3 to 4 servings, you're going to get 3 points. And if you eat 1 to 2 servings in that day, you're going to get 1 point. Obviously, if you didn't eat any, you get no points. Hydration is going to be a big part of this program. So we are going to ask people to drink about half of their body weight in ounces per day of water. So if I weigh 200 pounds, then I should be drinking 100 ounces of water during that day. So if you drink that much or more, you get 2 points. If you drink less than that, you get 0 points. Okay, so that'll be one of the things you can get points for. Having an alcohol-free day, meaning you drink no alcohol, no beer, no wine, no liquor, cider, moonshine, whatever it is, right? You did not drink any of that, nor did you use it in any other, like for example, like in your cooking or your food or whatever. I mean, let me think about that. I mean, scratch that. You didn't drink it to have the actual drink. Okay, so that will get you 2 points for having alcohol free. And by the way, I'm not going to stand up here and say that there's no judgment around that. We just know that your body, it can't do certain processes inside of itself while it's processing alcohol, right? It just can't do two things at once. So we're not getting all the healthy results that we want through all this other stuff that we're trying to get you to do if alcohol is involved. So that's it, period. We don't have any other judgments really about that. Obviously, if you feel like you have an issue with alcohol, then this might help you to work through that, but that's not the goal of what we're trying to get at here. Refined sugar-free day. So that's going to take that's a little harder than it actually sounds, because that's going to require you to read labels. If you're eating packaged foods, which we're going to try and get you to do a lot less of during these 90 days, is preparing your own food, having it ready in quantities that are right for you, and avoiding eating out at restaurants, eating a bunch of packaged foods and things like that is going to be better for you. But looking at what you're eating and not having extra refined sugar. So that obviously means like granulated sugar that you might put in your coffee. That's a simple, that would mean like desserts, certain desserts, pies, cakes, cupcakes, whatever. But it also might mean they put cornstarch syrup and corn syrup in lots of different things. It also means certain beverages like Gatorade, even, right? What could have refined sugar in it. So you're gonna have to kind of pay attention to what you're taking. If you had a sugar-free day, then you get 2 points, and it's gonna ask you that. Did you have sugar or not today? Yes or no? Cool. Questions just about the nutrition piece of points-wise. Okay, you're gonna be reminded about this stuff every single day, so it'll be pretty easy going forward. Okay, physical activity is obviously a big part of being the healthiest that you can possibly be. So we're going to reward you for being more physically active. And this is a slight change. If you've done a challenge with us in the past, we've tweaked this rule, so you want to make sure that you're grasping it. 30 minutes or more of physical activity in any day is going to get you 5 points. And in the past, we were like, oh, it has to be a workout here or something like that. We're scrapping that rule, because what I want this to do is to solve problems in your life, right? Not create more obstacles. So, for example, if you're traveling for work or pleasure or whatever, and you do something at a gym or not, like in your hotel room or at a park, wherever you're at for 30 minutes or more, you get your 5 points. Okay? We're also going to be sending you daily workouts through our nutrition platform that are specifically designed for you. So hopefully you have answered an intake form that I sent you that tells me a lot about you, and we have created custom, individualized workout plans for you that will work around the injury that you stated you have, if you have one, your goal, whatever goal you stated, and those are going to be great. They're not CrossFit workouts. They are going to be just like goal-driven, specific, and every day is going to be something different in there. So if you do that workout, you also, when it asks you, it's going to say, I have no equipment, I'm doing this at home, I have no equipment. It'll give you the option to do the version of it that fulfills that need. Or I have only a little bit of equipment. Or I don't have a lot of time. There's like several different things that'll ask you about your workout that day, and we'll kind of like custom gear it for that specific need that you have. If you do it for 30 minutes or more, you're gonna get 5 points. Period. Okay, so that's how those points work. Sleep is huge. Right, so we've talked about nutrition, physical activity, and sleep is one of the biggest things I talk to a lot of people about. Solving the sleep problem in your life if you have it. So getting 7 hours total in a day of quality sleep, 7 hours or more, is going to get you 5 points for that day. Does not have to be consecutive hours, right? So if I fell asleep at 9 p.m., woke up at midnight, had some sort of issue, I had to get up, my 3-year-old woke me up or whatever, and I didn't get back to sleep until 1, I still need to sleep until 4 more hours, till was that 5 a.m., whatever that math works out to get my 7 hours. It also naps would include. Maybe I went to bed at 11 because I had to work late, and I had to get up at 3 because I had to work early. As long as you take a 3-hour nap later on in the day or something like that, then we're gonna count that. It just needs to be 7 total hours or more of quality sleep. And you're gonna be the judge of that. Obviously, there's no way for me to judge that, but I want you to be honest and have like integrity around that. It needs to be quality sleep, like I'm out. Not up and down and all that stuff. Question about sleep? Huge. If you have problems sleeping and we do nothing but solve that problem during these 90 days for you, you are gonna see so many results through just that. So it's a massive deal. And then the last piece is stretching and mobility. Okay, so we can include range of motion work and all that other stuff in there. 10 minutes or more in any day is going to get you 2 points, 3 points. 3 points for that. So that could be yoga, that could be foam rolling, lacrosse balling, theragunning, just good old-fashioned stretching. Anything that you're doing, doing ROMWAD, which we have on the iPad here or at home. We give you in the Rise software, if you look in like description, we give you 5 like PDFs of things that you can do that'll just give you like little pictures and like guide of like how to do a stretch or do like a yoga routine at home. There's a foam rolling for upper body, foam rolling for lower extremity. There's some resources in there, and that's, by the way, in almost all these tasks in Rise. If you click the description, we've given you some help with that, like what is this talking about? Here's some ways to accomplish this. So make sure you're using that as a resource. But that's it. Those are your daily tasks. Stay on top of your nutrition and all the things associated with that. Your physical activity, your sleep, and your mobility, your flexibility, stretching, all that other stuff. So it sounds like a lot, but you probably are already doing all of this stuff to some extent on a regular basis now without thinking about it too much. Yes?
With the physical activity, is it expected to do the workout in the new software versus like coming in here, or how does that work? It's like an either or
whatever you want. You'll have so many options for that physical activity. So if you're doing the workout that we give you, obviously if you don't know how to design your own workouts and don't have a whole lot of other places to go, we're giving you the resource to do that. But it can be the workouts we give you through Precision Nutrition. It could be the workout of the day. It could be pump 30, burn 30. It could be going for a jog on Town Lake. It could be going to Gold's Gym and doing a good old-fashioned pump sesh. It could be anything, right? We just want you to be physically active as much as possible in ways that are healthy for you, that are geared towards your goals. Yes?
Question, sorry. But is the Wodify Rise different than the regular Wodify?
Yes, and I'm sorry that is confusing, but they're associated with each other by name, but really that's it, right? So separate softwares. Is there like a follow-on to that?
Well, so the problem that I had is because I already have a Wodify account, it linked me to my Wodify account, so I'm just making a mental note that I have to go in and try to register with the Rise.
Yeah, you actually already registered with Rise. Yeah, when you signed up for this challenge, everybody had to sign up through Rise. So, so everybody has an account in Rise unless you somehow walked in here. Nobody should have walked in here.
I think there's a way of swapping back, because when I was at Strive in here, I was able to swap back and forth between Strive and...
Yeah, in the normal Wi-Fi,
And
right?
the confusion is, it is a different app.
It's a different app.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
completely different
I
app.
got it,
Yeah, download it on your phone or get into it on your computer, but it's a different, they're separate apps. Yeah. So, good. Other questions about this stuff at this point? Got it. Cool. What else do I need to talk to you about? Okay, so in getting, yes. Yeah.
So that's not paying attention, or do we know calories?
So yeah, so we are going, through the nutrition program, we are going to master the basics with almost everybody. We're talking about it, we will be asking, like the custom guide that I give you in the nutrition program is going to want you eating food in the right quantities, but we're using the hand method for that. If for folks who, so that's where, even for folks who've been tracking their calories and their macros and all that stuff, we're gonna ask you to kind of like try on for a second this way of doing it. However, we will work with people on their calories and macros. If you just feel like that is what you've had a lot of success doing that in the past and you know exactly what they should be, we will support you in that and we'll work that through the program. But I also want everybody to think about my goal for you is sustainability for your lifetime, right? And if you want to be the type of person who has to be logging your food every single day, everything you eat, that's totally fine. I support you in that. I'm just saying that maybe that's not super sustainable, right? So, but we'll work with you on the calories mac. There are no points associated with calories or macros. That's probably what you're asking. Yeah. Yes. Cool. Other questions? Great. So in getting started, there's some things that we've been asking you. Hopefully you've been getting the emails and all that good stuff. If you want to be in the competition to win it, we want you to take that DEXA scan through Body Spec. Okay, so because that gives us the most accurate way of knowing lean mass and body fat. So, so that is a requirement if you want to be in that part of the competition. However, if you don't, it's optional. You don't have to do it to stay in the challenge or anything like that. But you want to get that done by the 18th. If you are going to do it for record for the program, we want it done by the 18th. And there's lots of places around. We scheduled some times here, but there's places around town that you can go and get that done as well. The healthy habits intake. So you should, like, again, I think, like, looking around this room, I think everybody's completed that intake. And I got quite a few yesterday, so it looks like people kind of got caught up on it. If you haven't received the one from Precision Nutrition that says like Pro Coach, 8th and Schindler on there or something like that, let me know. We need to make sure you get that because that's an important part of getting you started with the challenge. Well, as we just mentioned, Wodify Rise app, everybody needs the Wodify Rise app on their phone. And have logged into that. You've done it before without knowing it. That's how you signed up for the challenge. Just download that app. The regular Wodify app, okay, so that's where we reserve for our classes, enter our performance, check the whiteboard, all that stuff. That's a separate app. Probably want that on your phone and computer as well. For folks who are just getting started with us, never done CrossFit before, haven't been a member at Fortitude before, you got to take our Foundations program. Okay, so you'll schedule with Elma. Elma, raise your hand. Okay, so Elma's in the back. If you don't know Elma, she's going to schedule a time with you, probably try to get you guys in small groups to get it done, but you're going to have to complete our Foundation program. It's 3 sessions, about an hour long. We teach you all the common movements of CrossFit, and you get a nice little workout at the end of that class as well. But you got to complete that to kind of get started. It's part of the challenge. It's not extra. You can also lump that in. So, for example, if you planned on coming this week, Monday through Friday, every day, you can still come on the days that, it's not like you can't come here until you've completed those classes, but we need you to complete those right away. And I don't know if that's not a whole lot of you guys, but it's a few of you. Foundations needs to be completed if you're getting started, and then the performance test, which we're about to do today. So if you just finished the holiday hack you don't need to do the performance test again. You literally just did it the other day. But anyone who hasn't, who didn't do the holiday hack or hasn't done any of our challenges needs to do the performance test. And so what the performance test is, oh, wait, we'll get there in a second. Yeah, I'm gonna go this way, and then I'll come back to that. Okay, this is what the performance test is. It's a 12-minute AMRAP, as many reps as possible in 12 minutes of a 500-meter row, 40 air squats to a med ball, meaning you gotta touch your bottom to a med ball, doesn't matter what weight or anything, just gotta get down there. 30 ab mat sit-ups, 20 hand release push-ups, and then 10 pull-ups. So if if push-ups are difficult for you, like doing them on your toes, you can do those on your knees. We just need to make sure we take note of that so that you retest it the exact same way at the end. And for the pull-ups, those need to be body weight pull-ups. If you're gonna do them like the pull-up, they can be strict, kipping, butterfly, whatever. But you can scale those to jumping pull-ups if you'd like. And we wanna make sure we're all keeping a standard on that. Or you can do ring rows. Again, we just need to know how you did them so that we retest the exact same way on those pull-ups. So that's the workout. Questions about what the workout is before I wrap us up? Great. Okay, so going back to this is how I want to leave you from this meeting, is that if you do these things, if you prioritize what we're asking you to do, and obviously you signed up for this because it mattered to you. You felt like you needed something out of this challenge and it matters to you. I need you to prioritize it. You're wasting your time and really mine too if you just go through this whole thing and just fudge yourself through it, right? Every person sitting in this room, you don't need to change who you are. You have all the skills and abilities and everything readily available to you. You already can do all this stuff. You just need to prioritize it. And you're gonna get this stuff done. And then just do the work. That's the biggest piece of it. It's just don't make excuses. Don't sell yourself out or try and tell yourself that there's some reason why you can't do anything. None of these things are crazy hard. Anybody in there think it's anything extreme about what we're asking you to do? It's not. You can do this. You just gotta do the work. You just gotta show up and do the work. And just take ownership of it. And then I want you to try on for a second that just throw the risk. Some of you guys are sitting in this room I'm not sure if I can do this for 90 days, right? But just take the risk. Just throw yourself into this every day, risk that failure, and you're gonna have a really great experience. Again, the results that people have gotten have far surpassed what I thought was possible during these nights for some people. So I know that's possible. And then I'll leave you with this quote. People do not decide their futures. People decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. And that's why we've kind of created this the way it is. We know that you are what you do every day. So I'll leave you with that. We're gonna get started into this workout. We're gonna do a guided warm up and get everybody ready. There are some people who have to get out here sooner than others, so we'll have them go. Obviously, we're not gonna have everybody going at the same time, but we'll partner up. So people who need to get out here sooner will go in the first wave. Other people will count their reps for them, and we'll do some waves of getting this done. Hopefully as quickly as possible. I know we have the rowers is going to be I have a plan for how everybody's going to get this done, but that's going to be the limiting piece. So any questions before we wrap up this part of the meeting and start getting ready for the workout? Awesome. I'm excited for you guys. This is going to be good. So let's go ahead and, let's go ahead.